Greetings and welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for logging on today. I'm your host, Maggie Cavanaugh, and I have today with me someone I have been very much wanting to interview for a long time, Jarod O'Flannery. Jarod, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, Maggie, it's good that we finally get to talk. You've been supporting our show for a while now, and I'm glad that we get to meet face to face and chit chat.
Me as well. I have looked forward to this. And for those of you do not know Jarod, you need to know Jarod because Jarod is the writer, creator, producer of the hit crime drama Vindication. So those that personally know me, you know about Vindication because I have told you, I have invited you, I have asked you, come check it out. You're going to love it. But those of you that have not heard about it, it is, to me, I had lost faith in TV, Jarod. I'll just be real with you. I'd lost faith in TV. We didn't even have a TV in our living room until Vindication. We would watch movies. We support the faith-based, anything faith-based. We'll go to the theater to support it or we'll watch it. And I'm talking about from the cheesiest to the highest quality. We will watch it because we believe in God using his people for good. But when Vindication came along, I was so incredibly impressed because it puts, and I won't name any secular shows, but you think about your favorite crime drama, right? I mean, Vindication in the dust. I mean, it really is it exceeds the expectation on many levels. So what inspired you to do a crime-based drama?
I personally don't watch a lot of crime shows, and now that I'm knee deep in Vindication, it's probably a good thing because that way I don't have ideas from other shows that are already up here, and I end up redoing them subconsciously, not realizing what I'm doing. But the beginning that I look back to is my wife was watching a crime drama show, and she was in our bedroom, and I came in there and kind of looked up at the screen a little bit, and I just noticed that there was this formula that every episode starts with showing you what crime has occurred, and then they investigate a few suspects, and then there's a big twist, and then the surprise at the end, and they may have a joke at the end or something that shows the behind the scenes life of the detectives or whoever. And I just kind of said, man, it's always the same thing. You always know what's going to happen. What if you changed it up a little bit and entered an episode where you didn't know even what the crime was? And so that's where our first episode came from, was that idea. And people enjoyed it and kind of came to me and said, hey, will you do more of this? So that's how I got into the crime drama genre almost by accident. It wasn't that I was a big fan and thought I could do it better. It was more of a, hey, I just want to change this up and do it differently. And then people said, hey, we like that. Give us some more.
I love that. And obviously you did because we had a whole season 1 and now we're knee deep into season 2. And I'm just, here's one of a big fan here, Janet. She says, oh, she loves Vindication. She's a diehard Vindy for sure. She truly is. She truly is. Those of us that have been following along from the beginning, and I'll tell you, I came in on episode 4, season 1. When I started watching it, I didn't even know it was out there because I'm kind of in the dark when it comes to some of that stuff. And my friend, now cast member of your second season, Candace Kirkpatrick, messages me and she's like, Maggie, you've got to check this show out. And I was like, well, I don't watch TV really. And I'm like, I am watching The Chosen, And she's like, you got to watch this and tell me what you think. She goes, I'm praying for this guy. I think this is so amazing what he's doing. And so I watched it and I was hooked right then. And so we proceeded on with it and counted the days down to season 2. And I won't give any spoiler alerts here, folks, but I purchased season 2. I'm just saying, if I purchase it, it's serious. So I've actually, Jarod, my granddaughter, who is 12, has been homesick this week. And I watched season 1, episode 2, and season 2, episode 6, I believe. I'm not sure. I might have those numbers not right. But you address the difficult topics that we need to discuss with our children, with our sphere of influence. We need to have these open, honest, transparent conversations about things that are going on in the world. And the 2 episodes I watched with her was the one on sexting, which is incredibly, it's an epidemic. And I don't care if your kids are saved or not saved, y'all. You have to be aware this is something we need to talk about. And I love the fact that you tackled that topic. Did you get any backlash about addressing these difficult situations?
Can't say that I got any backlash. Instead, it was like what you're saying. People were like, hey, thank you for doing this, but doing it in a Christian context so that I can show my 12-year-old or 14-year-old, I'm sure there's probably some, entertainment or some things out there that address those same topics, but it's not necessarily from the worldview or perspective that we would want to pass on to our children. Instead, it's more, when you're ready to send explicit pictures to your boyfriend, you need to think of it's like, wait, hold on, no, this isn't a good idea. This is not a good idea at all, and there's long-term repercussions of that. So you know what I'm saying? That there may be stuff out there, but it doesn't give the message we want. So people have come to me and said, hey, I'm glad that there's one that's done in a Christian worldview that addresses some of these heavy topics. In other areas, either they're very vague or they just don't get talked about at all.
Yeah, and in that episode, and I don't want to give it away for those of you that have not watched season 1, and if you have not watched season 1 or started the Vindication binging, because I'm telling you, you will want to binge it. I walked into Kiara's room yesterday, and I'm like, honey, what are you watching? She's like, Vindication. And I'm like going, hold on, I was like, let's talk about all these episodes because it gives us an opportunity to see the ramifications and how it struggled with the effects that it had on the young lady. And I don't want to go into detail about it because I want you to go watch it. And for those of you that have not watched it, I want to take a moment right now and show a little trailer, if you will, of season 2. Don't want you to start with season 2. Go back, watch them all and promote them all and share it with your friends, because for years I have heard this over and over, Jarod. Oh, we just need some really good faith-based things to watch and we'll stop dibble-dabbling with the world stuff. And it's here. And a lot of people don't know yet. And I think this is how we get the word out. So do you mind? I'm going to take a moment here and we will share season 2 trailer. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Well, I think we will. Hold on a second. Here we go.
All right, guys, get out there, be safe, watch each other's backs.
911, what's your emergency? There's a guy in the garage with my dog, and they're yelling, and I don't know what to do.
I'm Sergeant Travis with East Bank Police Department.
Maggie, I don't think it's playing on our side.
Yeah, it's not playing on our side. So hold on. I'm going to stop sharing there. Technical difficulties. So what's happened whenever you get someone like me who is an amateur here? Here we go. Hold on.
Guys, get out there.
I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to come back to you, Jarod.
Okay.
And we're going to share our screen again and see. If this does not work, y'all, you need to just go to YouTube and just do it. Or better yet, I also want to share with you guys the actual Vindication website that you can go to get further information about that as well. But let me try to share this one more time here, okay? Because I really want them to see this because it drew me in, and I already was all ready for season 2. So let's see here. Okay. Let me know, Jarod, if it doesn't show up whenever I hit the play here.
All right.
Be safe, watch each other's backs.
It's not working. All right. Well, I've done this many times before, and I'm not sure what the problem is, but this just gives you an opportunity to go and check it out. Okay. As soon as the broadcast is over, go and check it out and share it with your friends, family, coworkers, because people need to know about this message. So Michelle Lindsay here says she enjoys the show. So many people are not only enjoying the show, but they're enjoying the characters. So whenever the first season, whenever I seen how it was pulling on the heartstrings of someone, and Detective Travis, obviously the line, and I hope it's okay to share this line, but he says, and whenever his wife looks at him and she goes, "But God's speaking to you," he's like, "How do I make it stop?" I mean, he was so like, what is going on? Everything I do, everybody I interview is going on. So did you, when you started with the first episode as a short film before it was going to be, did you ever dream that Detective Travis would have this long drawn out kind of walk with and struggle with the Lord?
I definitely did not. When the opportunity came up to do even a second episode, they came to me and said, "Hey, can we do a episode 2 of this?" And I started thinking about the guy that was interrogated in episode 1. Like, well, what do we do with him? Like, he's a Christian now. He's restored his marriage. what are we? They're like, no, not that guy, the detective. What? Let's see his next case. I'm like, oh yeah, we don't know a whole lot about him, do we? We could probably expand upon that. And yeah, and I guess it just naturally, because of how his character was set up in episode 1, it just naturally flowed forward that, this guy's not going to be a strong believer, or theologically sound individual, or someone who his detective work is his mission field. Instead, let's make it the opposite, where everyone that he interrogates or investigates, that things about God pop up in those. So again, like I said from the beginning, it's a little different way of doing things, but it obviously worked.
It worked well because we would expect him to be the type of pouring into the lives of those he comes in contact with. But those people, provoking in him something to go, wait a minute, is this God? I mean, that just made it so juicy. And so for those of you that have not watched season 1, there was topics in there that, in addition to the sexting, which we incredibly are grateful for you bringing it into light and showing the ramifications of that. But it talked to everything from drug use to trafficking to, extramarital affairs, you name it, it was in there, but it was done in a tasteful way where people can learn from it. And so I look forward to more and more of this type of thing coming available, where it gives us an opportunity, even using clips from it as a teaching moment. Are we allowed to do that, Jarod?
Yeah, I don't know the legalities on that. But yeah, I love people using the show to talk about things, and it doesn't bother me or affect me, just as long as they're not posting it online like before it comes out. So
Right.
yeah. So as long as that's not happening, I think that would be a great tool. And when you put visuals and sound and often music together, you can show someone something like you said as an illustration, and a year later come back to them and say, hey, you remember this? And people remember it. Or you show it to them and they go, oh, I've seen this before, right? Whereas sometimes if it's just verbally spoken, and this isn't anything against church or pastors, but sometimes you sit for an hour sermon, by the time you get to the back door, you're like, what was that about again? I know it was really good, but it just doesn't quite stick the same way as that visual and audio and mixing it all together. So I think it's a great tool. I think it's why Jesus told parables, because he knew a year from now, if I come across these people again, they're going to remember that story I told them, right? It's just so engaging. So yeah, I definitely think it's a great tool that we can use to set out on the Great Commission.
That's great. I absolutely love that. And you're right. Most people are visual and they need to see something. They need a connection to connect the dots. And let's face it, this generation has this, drive-through breakthrough mentality where everything is so fast. An event I just did, I only allowed the speakers to go 15, 20 minutes because the kids could not keep their attention. And so, but yet something like a clip, use thoughtful. And I'm so glad you said yes to that, because I've got some scenes I'm going to use in some teachings, but because they will remember. And I love that. So you got some of your cast on here watching with us. We've got my girl, Candace, who introduced me to the show in season 1. She gives you a shout out. She's blessed to work with you and the cast and crew. And look, it's Todd Terry, Detective Travis in the house. I love it. So the people that work with you love you. And so I know that I'm not in the industry, so I don't know what it's like working with directors and so forth. But when you see people that respect people like you know that you've done a good job, Jarod. Whenever the team around you is, not only are they in love with the roles that was created for them, but they respect and honor you. And that just for me is such a cohesive group of people on a mission. And I believe it is because you guys are all Christians, and having that faith-based, God in the center, and having the Great Commission in mind while doing it. So during season 2, I seen you guys like being masked up and trying to get it done. Did COVID slow down us getting season 2, or was it pretty much paced as much as it normally would be for a show?
Did COVID affect our production and maybe add some overhead? Absolutely. Did it slow down the release date? It actually did not. And that's really just a God thing that it came together. When we were building our contracts and getting everything ready, there were big red sections that said, should COVID get in the way, then, all of these timetables and delivery dates are flexible. And when it came to the end, we were able to hit all of those. So it's really a big praise to God that happened and came through that way. I want to touch on a couple things you said. First, Candace, I think, has introduced half of our audience to Vindication. So, that's I hear that so often. I'm like, hey, how did you hear about the show? Oh, Candace, how do you know her? So I think she's introduced half our, and that's not saying we have a small audience. It's just saying that she has been out there spreading the word. And to have Todd Terry get on today, Maggie, this is a big time show. To get him on here, we don't see him in the lives very often. So that's a great thing. You mentioned the people about having respect on the set and trusting in what we're doing. I have kind of a moment that I think back to. It was season 1, episode 3. That was the episode of the husband or the dad that disappeared. Nobody knew where he was at, and the family was going through some turmoil, kind of coming to grips with what may have happened to him. And we're at that family's house filming, and I'm sitting in the chair, and I ask him to shoot something one more time, or hey, can we get it from a different angle? And I turned around to our crew of about 20 people standing there, and I started explaining to all of them why I felt like we needed to do another one. I'm like, I just feel like this, we need to have the, and one of the people there just kind of like interrupted me. They said, hey, Jarod, I think by now you don't have to explain to us why you're doing something. We all trust what you want to do. And that was a powerful moment to me, because I still felt like I needed to explain to everybody every decision I was making, or why I thought maybe we should try something else or whatnot. So that was really a good feeling. And then going forward from them, I kind of felt like, okay, this group of people trust what we're doing here. And you mentioned having Christians involved. Definitely some of the critical key components of our production, from our lead actor to our camera team to many others. We have strong believers in place there, but we're not a production that top to bottom needs to hear your testimony or see your baptism card or anything for you to come work with us, right? We'll work with anybody. And we've seen some great things happen from that, and I can't think yet of me having a bad experience of anyone who was outside the faith that came and worked with us. No, they've all been wonderful. Even some of the best, we had one guy that some of the other projects he had worked on had been, well, let's just say it's the entertainment most of us try to stay away from, and I was a little nervous about having him come on set, like what's going to happen. And man, he became one of the biggest supporters. I mean, he was like forwarding Vindication out to his huge audience of like slasher horror film stuff. One of the biggest promoters. And I just thought, how cool is that?
Yes.
That guy comes in and he's being a bigger promoter than some of my own family members. So it was a neat experience. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to address those things that you had brought up there.
Yes. And I love that. There are a lot of people, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it is important to understand that, God distributes gifts, whether people choose to follow him or not. And there are some very creative people. And I believe that, when it comes to people in your industry, they are culture shakers and changers. And so things change as a result of the entertainment that people consume. And I believe that Vindication is a show that is doing that. It is addressing these areas where people can sit and watch it and really stop and ponder and chew on it. It's not like, okay, let's just flip the TV off and it's over. You go back and you rehearse, that's kind of an issue. I've seen that in my church, or I've seen that in my small group, or I've seen that in my own life. And so it gives people an opportunity to not only pick from it, but to ponder on it and take it back to the Word of God and saying, okay, Lord, is this something I'm struggling with? Do you ever see anyone creating a Bible study based on Vindication? That's a crazy stretch. I know it's not, probably I'm just curious, just me personally.
Yeah. I know for like episode 1, that one of our distribution partners put together a small guide about that,
Oh, good.
as far as in paper form or whatever, it's not anything I've thought of. I think that gets done a lot for Christian entertainment, is put together the guide. I'm more the type of person that, all through school or even like in church, I'm just not one that sits and takes notes, Now, what about you, Maggie? When you're in church, do you got the notepad out? Are you taking notes on stuff, or are you just soaking it in?
I am, but I will make a big confession right here on social media that I don't always go back and read them.
Okay. Well, my wife, my wife's a note taker. She was on a Zoom the other day, and I go in and she's got the notepad out, right? And just for whatever, for me, just as long as that's just not me. I'm like sitting back with my arms crossed, and I'm like, I'm soaking it all in, you know? So when I think about the idea of a Bible study, that just doesn't fit it, you know, of having it in paper form and filling in the blanks. I just don't think about that. I'm like, no, I want you to really focus in on what's happening, and you dig in, you know, to what's happening in that story and see if you can pull out some of those nuggets. Cause there are things that are kind of hidden in there, you know, that aren't out front that I want to see if people catch up on, you know? And yeah, there's in fact, all through we could probably talk about every episode, little things that are hidden and people are like, oh, I did never get you right. So that's the way I see it. But you know, if the paper form Bible study were to happen, you know, it'd be a compliment.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right about the little hidden nuggets, because when season 2, like a couple weeks before it was coming out, we knew it was coming down the pike, and we were so, you know, scratching that itch that we went back and watched season 1. And there were things that I seen the second time around that I kind of just went right over my head. And so I think, you know, it reminds me, in the scripture talks about study to show yourself approved. And I'm like, how did I miss that? You know, Candace, I have to call Candace, say Candace now. Because going back and going over these things allows us to get it embedded in us. And I think even the whole note-taking thing, it helps my brain to absorb. But I think you're right. I'm glad that someone did do something with episode 1, because for those of you that have not seen season 1, episode 1, it is about the temptation of extramarital affair. And, you know, this is a big issue. The enemy uses this a lot in marriages and so forth. Is that something that is readily available for people to purchase?
It actually wasn't for purchase. Pure Flix was the distribution partner that put it out. Okay. So I believe if you go watch episode 1 on their service, there's a link down at the bottom that says like supplementary Bible material or study guide for it that's on there. So, and don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm seeing Candace, she's a passionate note taker. And that's why I think it could be important, because a lot of people that's how they absorb things, you know? So, but just for me being, I don't know if it's the other side of the brain or whatnot, but that's just not me. So I don't think down that path, but I know a lot of people are, and that's why it would probably be a good thing to get out there for them.
Well, the people that I serve, there's certainly a lot of nuggets that I can extract from and use that visualization. I do a lot of coaching and biblical counseling, and I have literally subscribed them to watch a couple episodes just to stir in them and say, hey, have you looked at it from this perspective? Because the world is constantly trying to pressure people into living to standards that are not pleasing to God. And that's what I absolutely love about the show. And it does not leave you short of the cliffhangers. My husband was like, in season 2, he's like, these cliffhangers are hard. And so, so Jarod, you are rare, and both sides of the brain are working at a high level, truly gifted. Oh, Candace, you know what? I know Jarod has to love you, because we all love you. Candace is my girl. I absolutely love this woman. And, she is in season 2 as a character named Janet. And I'll tell you what, Janet has made a couple little comments that have left me almost like to tears laughing, because knowing Candace and the type of roles that she normally plays, it is not her normal drama, you know, type of thing. I love her character. Can you tell us a little bit about the development of the character Janet?
All right. This is the first time I've gotten a question specifically on that character. So you must be a big fan there. So the backstory on that. Yeah, we originally going into season 2, there was a character that appeared at the end of season 1 that I had the intention of continuing. And it was almost, I'm not going to say a glorified prop, because that's kind of insulting. But basically it was going to be a character that was there that when we needed someone to step in and move the storyline forward, they could help out in that way. It wasn't going to be featured or focused or anything like that. It was just something that hey, we need someone for Travis to talk with about this. This character can come in, and that way we get some information across to the audience through that. Well, the individual who was in season 1 came to me. It was actually, they were slated to come shoot episodes 1 and 2, and then COVID hit. We were going to shoot in April of 2020. So COVID hit, we had to reschedule that part of shooting. And the actress came to me and said, I'm kind of at a different phase in life now. I'm a mom, I'm working. I just don't know if acting is a thing. So as tough as this is for me, I may want to open this up to someone else. So that's what opened the door for Candace, because I thought, okay, well, we're going to have to open this up to casting. We had a few people, and Candace came in, and we really liked what she did. And then once we shot those first 2 episodes and saw her on set and just what she brought, and then we start writing the remaining episodes, we're like, okay, this character needs to become a bigger part. She doesn't just need to be there to ping pong things off of Travis. I think we can do some stuff with her. And that's where some of the lines and scenes that you're talking about with Janet came from. It really was because of what Candace brought to the set and brought to the scenes, forced us almost to develop that character throughout the season.
I'm so grateful you did, because I enjoy it so much. And it brings that balance, because some of the characters are really, really serious. You know, Venus, I love Venus. I'm friends with her. I love what she does on the set of Vindication, as well as her mentoring program that she does with young women. We have a similar ministry-minded ideas when it comes to young people. But I love the fact that you can see someone who's so serious in the episode. My granddaughter's like, I want to meet her. She seems really neat. But but yet then have that balance of a character that brings the almost the comedy to it, because Janet's funny. You know, just the way that she's a little on the, seems to be, I don't know if it's intentional, but she seems to be a little OCD a little bit, or just kind of over the top. And so I love her role. I love all the characters. I love that, you know, watching the faith walk of, you know, Detective Travis. And I love Peggy in the role of his wife. She is like, just the most sweetest woman. I just want to hug her. So when you developed these characters, you did a great job. They're absolutely amazing. And we look forward to more coming. So if you guys have not already, okay, I'm wondering, what is it going to take? What is it going to be for you to just switch it over to PureFlix for a little while? First of all, let me just put in a plug for PureFlix. We've had PureFlix for years. I love it. I kicked Netflix to the curb a long time ago. And it's not that I don't watch some secular media. I do. I just don't ingest a lot of it. And I'm very selective about what I watch. But y'all, listen, you can get PureFlix, and it's very affordable. And you can even do a free trial, and you can go binge season 1 right now. I mean, tonight. But actually, we're coming into the weekend in a couple days. And you're probably, and it's here in Tennessee, it's rainy and yucky. What else you going to do? I can promise you, if you start watching the show, you're going to be encouraged, you're going to be inspired, and you're going to be challenged, okay? And as Christians, that's what we really need. We need that challenge, that provoking thing of like, what am I looking at? What am I thinking about? And stirring things up and bringing conversation into the people that you lead in your sphere of influence. So go and check it out in season 1. Season 2 is also on PureFlix. And Jarod, since I binged it, where are we at? We're on episode 7, right? Is that
episode 7? Yeah, season 2, episode 7 came out today.
Okay. So you can get caught up and watch it all, or you can do, you know, watch all season 1 and purchase season 2, because getting into when you purchase things, whether it's gear, whether it's DVDs, digital downloads, all of those things, it sends a message that, hey, we like this. We want to support you. And and then sharing it with people and getting the word out. I personally am joining Candace and Janet and some of the other, Robert Shepard and all of the people on here, Michelle, all the people that love this show, sounding the alarm. Y'all watch it, get the word out, because we want season 3. And I believe that we will get season 3 the more people that this is exposed to. So I'm praying that's the case.
I haven't to date had someone come to me and say, yeah, I sat down and watched 4 episodes and I just can't get into this show.
Right.
You know, I haven't had that. And it's honestly a challenge. Like, hey, be that person. I want to hear it from you, because I want to hear how we can get better. Right. The people are like, yeah, I couldn't get into it. Usually watch like 2 episodes, right? It's kind of like picking up a book, a great like 20 chapter book, and reading 1 chapter. Oh, it's not a good book. You know, you got to give it a little bit of an opportunity, you know? So, but yeah, so I think you can recommend it to friends, or you can sit down and take a chance and say, a lot of people have enjoyed this and gotten into it if you just give it a chance.
Candace pointed out that you had a wonderful review yesterday from Hollywood in Toto, which is, and it, you know, you're getting a lot of great reviews. I've seen that you're going to be a speaker in 2022 at the Contend, which is, gosh, I looked it up, but can you talk a little bit about the feedback is, from us, the fans, you're getting great feedback. But she's saying here, these, reviews are coming in. The industry is looking at this. They are going, hey, this is really good stuff. What's the best feedback you feel like you've gotten?
The best feedback, well, it's common, but it's the people that say, I heard about this, I wanted to give it a try, and oh my goodness, at 3 a.m. we had finished off the whole season. We just wanted to give it a try. It's almost like, someone offers you hey, you should try one of these chili cheese fries. They're really good. And you grab one, and next thing you know, you're taking their plate and you just can't stop, right? That's a compliment. Okay, those chili cheese fries must be pretty good, right? If that happens. So getting those compliments is always a very positive thing, and especially when it's from people that don't watch a lot of television. I mean, you even said you didn't have a TV in there because you didn't watch it. I've had people say, oh, my husband, he only watches sports, and I forced him to come watch Vindication, and now he's begging me when to, when can we watch the next one, or I know some other people, a couple that doesn't watch TV almost at all. And, they sat down to watch a couple, and, the wife drags the husband in, and then he's the one saying, hey, can we watch some more? Can we keep watching? So that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, my husband told me the sad thing about us purchasing season 2 is now it takes him longer to find out. He's like, if we would have waited a little bit, the wait wouldn't have been as long, because we binged it till like 2 a.m. And I am very protective of my sleep. So for me to stay up for 2 a.m. for anything outside of potential, if the Lord calls me to pray, I'll do that. But, I literally stayed up. I couldn't stop. It was like, wow. But it was in such a way that it was because I wanted more. I wanted more of the show, but I also wanted to be challenged more. I wanted to see, okay, is there, search me, Lord, is there any of this stuff going on in my life? And my attitude, or am I as naive maybe as I see that character being? Because I'm telling you, I'm really worried about Peggy. I'm worried about her. And that whole storyline, I'm like, protect her, Lord. I find, is it wrong to pray for characters in a show? It's like, before she was going to the jail, I'm like, Lord, cover her.
Yeah, that's
silly.
That's a great question. I think it reflects your heart that to go to the Lord with anything. So even if it is a character you're praying for, I don't think he gets upset with us trusting in him too much.
Amen. And he is even though you're the writer, creator, director, he directs you and you lead, you allow him to lead you. And that's why this great show is out. So I love it. So Jarod,
so when I'm in the writing bay and I'm trying to make something bad happen to a character, and I'm like, this is just not coming together, this is not working, I guess it's gonna have to work out smoothly. It's because Maggie was praying for this character and I'm hitting a big road bump in the scripting area. Is that how it happens?
I don't know. I'm asking the Lord's will be done in all of their lives, but I love how it shows just the humanity of people and just how much we need the Lord. And I'll tell you, we're already over time, but I could go on for hours talking about the different characters because I see God using them in distinct ways. And I love it. I love all of it. So, okay. So I'm going to respect your time and the time of the viewers. But so Jarod, if you could leave the audience with a key, whatever it is you want to share with them, what would that key be?
I'll give a key. I'm not going to say it's the key, but just a few years ago, after probably 20, 25 years of being a believer, a verse came to me, and I thought, how have I never heard this before? Why is this not on T-shirts and coffee mugs? And it was Micah 7:7. It says, I watch and hope for the Lord. I wait for God, my Savior. My God will hear me. And I just thought, man, so many people in life find themselves in a waiting period, or needing God to do something, or, watching and hope, waiting and hope, and those sort of moments. And it was a very confident, it's a verse of confidence. It says, I'm going to wait, but I know he's going to hear me and he is going to respond, And anyway, it says Micah 7:7. Yeah, it's just a verse that, again, jumped out at me just a couple years ago, and I've been using it and clinging to it since then.
Well, that's such a good verse, and I love it. And you're right, it should be on t-shirts and so forth. But that's what's so amazing about the Word of God. There's so much in there. There's always a scripture that can jump out at us, and that's so awesome. And I thank you, Jarod. I think the cast, the crew, all of the people, right down to the people that engineered the sound and so forth, for doing such an excellent job. You all have done well, and I know it's pleasing to the Lord. Thank you for taking time to be on the broadcast today.
Hey, thank you, Maggie, for having me. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for spreading the word. Honestly, I feel like we've done our part, and now it's up to the folks like you, and you've been doing a great job of just promoting the show, getting it out there. And if it continues to spread, it's going to be in large part thanks to people like you. So thank you, Maggie.
Yes, well, Lord gave me a big mouth for a reason, so I'm just going to shout it until everybody watches it. And so for y'all, go watch the trailer. You watch the trailer, go and download, come on, Pure Flix is less than 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. I'm just saying, for the whole month. So go get it now, share it with your friends. God bless you, Jarod. Y'all, thank you, and we'll see you next time on Keys to Your Best Life.